All right, a very good evening to you wherever you're watching us from tonight. It is the 23rd day of April 2022. Tonight we bring you the aura of the release of the 2021 KCSE results, the celebrations as well as the cries. But first, as is our custom, take a look at our top stories tonight. KCSE 2021 results released today at Mitihani House, Nairobi. President Kenyatta congratulates the Kenya National Examination Council for delivering credible national examination. Former President Mwai Kibaki to be laid to rest on Saturday, April 30th at his Othaya home in Nyeri County. And in sports, Shujaa sings Pool A members during Africa Rugby Sevens on day one. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm in the company of Sharon Wamboi as sign language interpreter tonight. My name is Anno Dida. Let's get started. Embu County leaders have urged Deputy President William Ruto to consider Justin Muturi for the running mate position in the August 9th polls. The leaders say, having held major positions in the country, Muturi is best experienced to serve as the coalition's running mate. Embu County leaders are now rooting for National Speaker Justin Muturi to be Ruto's running mate in August polls. In what they described as an outstanding leader who has the capability to spearhead the development of the country as deputy president, the leaders lauded Muturi for accepting to join Kenya Kwanza coalition, stating with utmost confidence that it was going to form the next government.
Sisi tukiona tunafurahi kwamba umekuja Kenya Kwanza. Na I believe sisi wote hapa tuko Kenya Kwanza na tuna support William Ruto. Kweli ama si kweli? So I want to nataka kuuliza Mheshimiwa William Ruto akiangalia ni nani atakuwa deputy wake, asikusahau kwamba hata sisi tuko na kiongozi shupavu anaitwa.
Tunamuuliza Mheshimiwa Rais wetu ambaye ataingia kwa ofisi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, Honorable William Samuel Ruto atupatie kiti ya running mate ama deputy president hapa Embu County, hata sisi tukaribia ule uongozi.
Following Muturi's crowning as the Gema community spokesperson last year, the leaders pointed out that Embu has been marginalized for long despite having been in government all through, and are optimistic that Muturi securing position of the deputy president, the community will have a negotiating power.
Sisi kama wa Embu, hii wakati sisi tuko macho sana. Tumepangwa mara nyingi sana. Tunawekwa pale, tunatumika, watu wanaenda huko juu wanatusahau. Nataka kusema ile chama tuko, chama ya UDA ikiongozwa na Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Tunataka Waembu, Wakikuyu wakinegotiate, Waembu wana negotiate.
This comes after the Democratic Party of Kenya had unanimously endorsed Muturi in February as its presidential candidate in the August general election. The party had stated that it will not enter into any coalition pact, but will go to the ballot for president and will consider post-election pact when the time is due. Leaders across various political parties continue to join hands in mourning the former president Mwai Kibaki. The leaders continue to appreciate his contribution in the socio-economic prowess in the country and refer to him as a great leader who helped improve the economy of the country.
It is race against time as plans to lay retired President Mwai Kibaki's body to internal resting place is underway ahead of burial set for April 30th at his Othaya home in Nyeri County. According to Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the chair of Funeral Steering Committee, the former head of state will be accorded a state funeral as a customary for any or former head of state. Preliminary plans to accord the late former President Mwai Kibaki a decent send-off have been finalized. Government officials, dignitaries, and members of public will be allowed to view the body of the former leader and pay their last respect at Parliament between 25th to 27th of April. Kibaki's funeral service will be held at Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi on Friday, April 29th for public viewing before the body departs to Othaya for burial on 30th of this month. Kibaki, who served as Kenya's third president between 2003 and 2013, died on Friday, April 22nd while undergoing treatment at Nairobi Hospital, aged 90, after a long illness. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Kibaki free education. Many great achievements have been spoken about of the late President Mwai Kibaki. He will be remembered for one of them as when he introduced free primary school education. Over the last few years, there has been a significant expansion in primary education, both in terms of the number of schools created and the number of children enrolled, particularly after 2003, when the government introduced free primary education.
Kwa masomo ya bure, alikuwa mtu mzuri sana na alifanya hata vijana tukajua shule.
Free primary education was introduced in Kenya following independence in 1963, but it was not implemented due to a shortage of funding and other causes up until 2003, when the then KANU was succeeded by NAC. NAC pledged to provide free primary school education during the campaign, and true to its word, the NAC government implemented free primary education in January 2003 after assuming power in December 2002 through the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology.
We started this program in 2003. The total enrollment in our primary schools was 5.9 million. We have also looked at the provision of homegrown programs, school feeding programs. As you realize, a very large sector of our country is under the ASAL region.
Prior to the implementation of free and compulsory primary education, the primary school enrollment was less than 50%. However, this increased as more children were enrolled in primary school. Some adults who had dropped out before due to lack of funds also decided to go back, as the case of 80-year-old John Nyamu from Nyeri County, who went back to grade 3 to fulfill his dream of becoming a lawyer. Kibaki's implementation of free primary education impacted the lives of an estimated 1 million children who would have otherwise not attended school. Ida Kithenji, KUTV.
Leaders across various political parties continue to join President Uhuru Kenyatta in mourning the death of the Kenya's third president, Mwai Kibaki. The leaders continue to appreciate his contribution in the socio-economic prowess and referred to him as a great leader who helped improve the economy of the country.
The country joined President Uhuru Kenyatta in mourning the late former President Emilio Mwai Kibaki in their own different ways. Various political leaders across various political parties eulogized the former President Mwai Kibaki, referring to him as a great leader who helped steer the country's economy, pointing out his contribution in the socio-economic expertise.
Amefanya kazi kama makamu wa rais, amefanya kazi kama rais wa 3 ya nchi yetu ya Kenya, na leo tuko na huzuni sana kwa sababu tumempoteza yeye. Lakini kwa Wakenya wote tunamkumbuka kama kiongozi shujaa ambaye ametufanyia kazi zile barabara nyingi ambayo tumeweza kuona kwa Kenya, highways, yeye ndiye alianzisha. Hata uchumi yetu ya Kenya iliweza kuwa nzuri sana wakati wake, na wananchi waliona pesa mfukoni.
Kama kaunti ya Narok tunamkumbuka zaidi kwa sababu hii chuo kikuu ya Masai Mara University ni Mwai Kibaki, His Excellency Mwai Kibaki ambaye ametuacha, ndiye ametupatia hiyo chata ya Masai Mara University.
Members from Democratic Party founded by Mwai Kibaki in the year 1992, led by Speaker of the National Assembly Justin Muturi, paid their tribute to the late third president of Kenya, promising to build and emulate his leadership legacy that saw Kenya enjoy sound economic policies.
President Kibaki is the founder of this party, and his legacy in this country is very, very deep. We appreciate, for instance, his great contribution towards socioeconomic prowess and progress of this country, both as a foremost economist.
We have lost a hero in this country. As you all know, he was not only known in Kenya as a smart economist, he was known in the whole world, and he once appeared in a Newsweek in the US. No wonder he left that legacy in Kenya that is enjoyed by every one of us.
The late President Mwai Kibaki, who passed on Friday morning, will be accorded state burial on Friday 29th April and will be buried 30th April on Saturday in Othaya constituency, Nyeri County. Snyder Chege, KUTV.
6 people have lost their lives in a Grizzly Road accidents along the Naivasha-Mahimahi Road. The Saturday morning accidents claimed the lives of the 6, and among them was a police officer. In the first accident, a security van transporting money to a local bank collided head-on with a trailer near Jikake IDP camp. According to eyewitnesses, the police officer and 2 security guards died on the spot. In the second incident, 3 people died on the spot after a motorcycle they were riding on was hit by a car. Naivasha OCPD Samuel Waweru has confirmed that the bodies have been ferried to the Naivasha Sub-County Hospital mortuary. All right, we're taking our first short break here at KUTV. Stay tuned.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
In 1931, RCA Victor launched the first commercial available vinyl long-playing record, marketed as program transcription discs. On this episode of Tech Innovation Show Retro Tech Edition, we bring you the vinyl.
Well, I move around a lot. And you see, you can't find vinyl on air. So I travel overland, all over East and Central and South of Africa. No, I never travel and come back empty-handed.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, Approximately 21 days after completion of the 2021 KCAC exams this month, Education CS Professor George Magoha has today released the results. Jeriel Ndeda Obura of Mangu High School topped the 2021 exams with 87.17 points, as Eliud Muteri reports.
Barely a month after candidates had the 2021 KCSE exams, Professor George Magoha has today released the last KCSE results under President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration. Roughly 827,000 candidates had the exam, with 50.9% being boys and 49.1% being girls. In the results, 1,138 candidates managed to score grade A plain, 349 of them being boys and 789 being girls. A total of 145,000 candidates, who account for 17.47% of the candidates examined, also hit the university entry cutoff point of C+. Jeriel Ndenda Obura of Mangu High School topped in the exams with 87.167 points, as Mwendo Cecily Mudheu of the Kenya IM had the top female candidate. Amongst the top 10 students is Mukua Timothy Kamau of Alliance High School, Job Ngara of Mangu, and Shege David Kamau of St. Joseph's Kitale. Among students living with disabilities, 223 candidates attained grade C+. Among the 223, 2 attained grade A plain, 10 A- and 27 B+. Professor Magoha congratulated sub-county schools, which he says account for 75% of all secondary schools in the country, as they produce 17,327 students who attained C+. Among the best performing sub-county schools is Nyakero and Kebulonik Secondary School. Professor Magoha insisted that various measures had been put in place to curb exam irregularities. However, results for 441 students were cancelled due to irregularities, while Magoha also noted that results for one big school were withheld pending further investigation in relation to irregularities. Stakeholders in the education sector have also had parents to ensure their children are registered for the forthcoming KCPE, KCSE and Grade 6 exams, which will take place between November and December. Students are now expected to start selection of their preferred universities after receiving their results. Mutweri Eliud, 4KU TV.
A variety of schools countrywide broke into jubilations after posting impressive results in the 2021 KCAC exams. St. Paul's Akoko Secondary School produced the second best student nationally amongst the sub-county schools category. In Kipsigis Girls, Brenda Cherotich emerged the best student nationally on the under-16 category with 87.006 points. Stanley Nyaringita has the full details.
It was song and dance in Akoko village, Bondo sub-county, as the villagers stormed St. Paul's Akoko Secondary School to celebrate Eric Owino, the second best student nationally amongst the sub-county schools category. Owino said he aspires to pursue medicine and surgery in the university and later specialize in oncology.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Almighty God for enabling me to perform this well. I didn't expect to appear in the television. I must say that this is a dream come true. I never expected this. And then I'd also like to thank the school, my beloved principal, and even the teaching staff.
More sincerely to thank Eric Owino for the sterling performance. Eric has put the name of Akoko on academic map. Thank you very much, Eric. Likewise, I also want to thank the entire staff, both the teaching and the non-teaching staff.
Celebrations were also rife in Kisii County, as Nyabodoro Girls had a total of 39 candidates with plain A's and A- out of 387 who sat for the paper. Kisii School's performance in the exam saw a total of 518 out of 569 candidates qualified to join universities.
The mean last year was 7.8. This time provisional result is 8.84. And our university entries, we have 354 girls with university qualifying grades out of 387.
That's been a long journey, but we thank God we are here. The mean of the school is 8.900. We had a candidature of 40 students. Yes. All of them qualified to university. The last one is a B-.
Meanwhile, Brenda Cherotich was the cause for the loud elections at Kipsigis Girls High School in Kericho County after emerging the best student nationally on the under-16 category with 87.006 points.
I'd like to pursue Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, at any top university or even outside country, and well, we're just hoping for the best.
We want to thank God for the results that have just been released. We thank God that our daughter, our student, Brenda Cherotich, was among the best, and we give God all the glory. We want to thank our members of staff. We want to thank our chief principal, Madam Chumba, who is away at the moment, for the support that she gave all the academic programs.
Despite facing a turbulent academic year, the students surely proved their resilience, paving the way for them to be a force to reckon with in the future. Stanley Nyirungita, KUTV.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has today received the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education National Examination results for the year 2021 from Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha. While receiving the results, the President pointed out the good work done by the ministry in delivering the exams. Still on KCSE, Education Cabinet Secretary George Magoha said overall candidates who obtained grade A in the 2021 KCSE examination were 1,138, which equates to 0.14%. I beg your pardon. This is an increase compared to the 893 students who obtained grade A in 2020, equating to 0.12%. The numbers of candidates with minimum university entry qualification of grade C+ and above rose to 145,145, which is 17.49% in the year 2021 KCSE examination, compared to 143,140, equivalent to 19.03% in 2020. Continually, he said the number of candidates with a minimum TVET diploma courses qualification of grade C- and above in 2021 was 325,896, which is 39.27%. Moving on, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha on Saturday released the results of the 2021 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE examinations. The CS said 826,807 candidates sat for the examinations across various schools countrywide, noting that 50.9% were male, while 49.1% were female. He said 18 counties had more female candidates than male, among them Taita Taveta, Machakos, Kitui, Meru, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kakamega, Vihiga, Tharaka Nithi, Uasin Gishu, Laikipia, and Kisumu. Now, as the country begins to experience the long rains, Kenyans have been urged to plant more trees so as to curb the negative consequences brought about by climate change propelled by human activities like deforestation. Caroline Kimwele with more.
This year's Earth Day celebrations were organized by We Don't Have Time, a non-governmental organization, and Kenya Safari Rally Drivers Organization, whose main agenda is protection of the Mother Nature for the generations to come. Speaking in Mount Kenya University in Thika, where Earth Day was celebrated yesterday. We Don't Have Time Chief Commercial Officer Simon Anderson challenged each Kenyan to take part in making the earth more habitable by protecting the nature from different pollutions like water and air pollutions that affect the entire earth ecosystem and which potentially pose a threat to the generations to come.
This year's theme is nature-based solutions, and we really need to look at the natural cycles and how we can actually utilize what the earth and God has already given us when it comes to solutions to mitigate climate change.
On his part, the organization's Kenya director, Patrick Kiarie, said the biggest challenge in protecting the nature is logging and encroachment of water sources by human activities like farming of wetlands, rendering such places dry and non-productive in agriculture.
As we celebrate this day, let's all of us take care of our environment in one way or the other. It might be our forests, our wetlands, the issues of plastic use, and so many things. And if we can do that, it can do something good for our future generations.
Presently, our government is doing a lot to protect our water catchment areas and to ensure that there is a ban on tree logging. This was put in place in 2018 and 2019, and currently that has seen quite a reduction in tree logging.
According to the United Nations recommendation of 10% forest cover in each country, Kenya still has strides to make, as the country forest cover now stands at 7.5%, meaning we are 2.5% shy of the UN threshold. Caroline Kimwele for KUTV.
Thank you, Caroline, for that report. Now that brings us to our second short break. We will be back with sports. Stay tuned.
This couple met in diaspora. They fell in love and had a child. They decided to move back home and make things official. Now, here is the bombshell. They found out that they were related. Wow. With Orbital Global, you can save yourself the embarrassment.
How well do you know your family lineage? Your cousins, uncles, aunties, nephews, nieces? Orbital is here for you. Visit www.orbitalglobal.com. Orbital Global, connecting families, uniting nations.
Magic. I need that magic.
Somebody call 911. Anything for your girl, give me more. And I say my sugary waggly, dang. Things you know, alright. Nothing worth the gain you attain by sudden flood. Don't you know that I still care for you? Me flip flop, got me needing more and more of you. And me the one to catch you.
Far East, welcome to the empire. Far East, because we find true love. You will see what your love has done for me. Because
now this is our final dish, and this is the perfect presentation that we've achieved, and I've been joined by
Chef Twitter.
Yeah, so suggest something on our social media handles or at KUTV Kenya, the next meal that you want us to cook. Maybe suggest your area, then you give us your recipe on our social media handles. Yep, I've been your host, Justina Kadambi. So the chef is waiting for the best part.
So once you're done with cooking, you don't cook and present food.
Yeah.
You cook and taste food. So unfortunately, our camera people, you'll have to continue watching us. Thank you guys for following us. Until next time. How is the food?
Perfect. Could not have been any better.
This is our dish for today: chicken curry, vegetable rice, and fried sukuma wiki. Since our chicken iko na sauce, ndio tutaweka kwa bowl. Macho ndio inaona kwanza, ndio inakula kwanza. Ikikufurahisha vile pia imepresentiwa, vile imepangwa kwa sahani yako, utaienjoy. Lakini as much as imepikwa aje, isipokufurahisha vile utaiona ya kwanza, hautaenjoy hiyo chakula.
Welcome back. Now let's have a look at what's happening in the world of sports. The National Rugby Sevens aside, Shujaa started day one of the Africa Rugby Sevens Championships at the Kyadondo Rugby Grounds in Uganda with a blast. Shujaa managed to beat Senegal 19 tries to nil. Later on in the day, coach Innocent Simiyu's charges came from 19-7 down to start their Pool A fixtures on a bright note after thrashing Zimbabwe 24-19. Shujaa also managed to punish Namibia 33-7 and will have a date with Madagascar tomorrow at 10 a.m. Now, Mathare United's Munro blames Mwenda's FKF as they are unable to host Bandari. The 2008 league champions have said they are not in a financial position to host the Dockers for this weekend's clash. Mathare United chairperson Bob Munro has blamed the decisions made by Nick Mwenda's Football Kenya Federation regime for the current financial struggles. The club posted a press statement noting that the financial challenges bedeviling them, which according to the letter, the Slum Boys said they are not in a position to host Bandari for a Premium League match this weekend. Goals from Nuno Tavares, Bukayo Saka and Granit Xhaka put Arsenal fourth on the log. Cristiano Ronaldo managed to pull a consolation goal for the Red Devils to make it 2-1 at the break. United later came out fighting at the start of the second period, and Fernandes had an opportunity to equalize from the penalty spot after Matic was fouled, but he struck the woodruck. Elsewhere in the city of Manchester Stadium, Man City claimed an empathetic 5-1 victory over Watford. The hosts dominated this game throughout and they need sit 4 points clear in the EPL table. We have come to the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company. Be sure to join Daphne Urina tomorrow for the weekend bulletin. Until then, have a good night.